Hello and welcome to Eat These Words. Today I'm making this delicious meatball soup. First of all, I'm going to chop some parsley, which I've just picked from my garden, as you can see here. There you go. It's a really cheap way and really economical way of getting fresh herbs. Grow them yourself. And some rosemary, I don't know if you can see that. Some rosemary, which I've just one stalk of rosemary, and I'm just gonna chop it up with my knife. Make sure you keep your hand on the top of the knife. Don't put it anywhere else. We don't want to chop fingers off. Just keep moving it backwards and forwards and it'll eventually get nice and fine. It doesn't have to be too fine. So once that's done, we're going to pop it into our bowl. And the best way to do this, she says, putting a bowl down, is take your knife, scrape it along there and pop it in. So to make our meatballs, I'm going to add 500 grams of steak mince to my bowl, which is here. That's steak mince that I've had in my freezer. I'm going to pop that in. Whoops. Try not to get it everywhere like me. Once you've done that, wash your hands. Now to my mixture, I'm going to add some Worcester sauce. I'm going to put in here about a tablespoon, thereabouts. You can add more or less, whatever you want. Some garlic, because I like a bit of garlic, and we're going to add, get this out, here we go, so there's half a teaspoon, and half a teaspoon more. There we go. And I'm going to add some onion granules, about a teaspoon. Now I'm adding powders because it's a lot easier for it to cook down in here. You could add onion if you wanted to, but it's so much easier to blend powders than it is anything else. Salt. Good hefty grind of salt, does need it. Pepper, again a good hefty grind, whatever your heart desires. And for good luck, I'm adding, normally you would add breadcrumbs, but I don't have any breadcrumbs, so I'm going to add jumbo oats, and about a handful, so about that much. Okay, and the last thing to add is an egg. And it goes. And then you've got to get your hands in, hence the blue gloves. So in they go. And we need to give this a good mix. Look how lovely and yellow that yolk is. Or orange, shall we say. There we go. Get it going. We want everything equally distributed throughout our mixture. Now you could also add chilli to this if you wanted to. You could make it your own by adding Italian herbs, or you could add Moroccan spices such as cumin and cinnamon. You could add whatever your heart desires. I'm keeping it kind of Italian inspired just because I'm doing the subs today, meatball subs for the family. Okay. That looks nicely distributed to me and I can smell it, it's lovely. So now I'm going to make it into meatballs. So about the size of a walnut is what we're after. Now what you can do is make them a bit bigger if you wish and add cheese to the middle of them. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? But for now I'm just making walnut size meatballs because that's what I'm doing. That's a bit bigger, isn't it? We'll make that one a bit bigger, shall we? And then you make it too big. What the heck? As near as you can to a walnut. There you go. Oh, that's better. Okay. If you prefer your meatballs to be a bit more juicy, I have added suet to these, because this is steak mince and it's 5% fat, so it won't have a lot of fat content. If your meat is a little bit more fatty, that's fine, but if you want to add a little bit more fat to the 5%, then add some suet, it works well. Give them a little push as well when you're doing that. I find wearing gloves actually helps when you're doing this job. It tends not to stick to the gloves, whereas sometimes it will stick to your hands. If you do find it sticks to your hands, use some water and that will make it a lot better. You'll find you won't get as much stick. So now I'm going to clean up and I'll be back with you when I'm cooking them. So I've got my meatballs here and I'm going to seal them and make them lovely and brown in my frying pan. And to do that, I'm going to add a little bit of oil here. This is just regular garlic oil. You can use whatever you want. You don't have to use oil if you don't want to. There you go. Turn it up, get it really hot. I want the flavour from the garlic oil to come through. Okay, so my pan's heated up. So I'm going to pop my meatballs in here now. And I'm just going to start sort of at 12 o'clock and work my way around so that when I come to turn them, I know which order they should be in. Okay, my meatballs are just about cooked, so now I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes, so stand back for that. We want all the flavour that's in the pan to be left in there because we're doing a sauce for this now. A little bit of water to clean out the tin a bit. Then I'm going to shake it. Just give it a shake. And we're going to add some ingredients. We're going to add some celery salt because I like to give it a bit of flavour basically, and I think celery adds a bit of flavour because we're not adding celery and it's a great seasoning. If you're going to make a good sauce, you always add celery salt to it. Italian seasoning here, a bit too much maybe. Some garlic granules. Now I'm not adding a lot, about half a teaspoon, and a bit of onion granules. There you go, onion granules. About half a teaspoon, there you go. A bit of a stir. Now this is just aiming to reduce the water that I put in there and to cook the meatballs a bit more. That's all I'm doing here. Now watch out for your tomatoes because they can be quite acidic tomatoes. So we're going to taste them in a minute to make sure they're not too acidy, so sour. And we're going to add to it, if it is, a little bit of sugar. Just a little bit, not a lot. It doesn't take long to make this recipe at all. And while that's reducing a little bit, just put that on the end of there, I'm going to toast some rolls. So these are my subs. And I'm going to toast them under my grill, which I've had heating up. So my meatballs have been cooking for about 5-7 minutes, something like that. So the water has gone and I'm just left with a sauce now. So what I'm going to do is just taste it to make sure it's not too acidic. So in I go. No, that's great. So that's ready. Switch that off. And all I have to do now is put together my meatball sub. Okay. So to build my meatball sub, here is my toasted roll here. And you can see it, I hope, yeah. So I'm going to add about 3 to 4 meatballs to my sub. So that's, excuse me, fingers and everything, household and everything. 1, 2, 3, we'll do 4. I'm going to put some sauce on top. Now this one's for my dad, so he does not like cheese, can't eat cheese, gives him migraine. So we'll put a nice bit of sauce on top for him. And then fold it over and there's his, I don't know if you can see that, his meatball soup. And the last one is mine. There's 2, 3. Is there a little one knocking around? Yeah, that one's little, isn't it? fork, try and squeeze it in there. Bit of sauce. And a bit of cheese on top. That's a big bit. There we go, over the top. Now if you want to, you could put this under the grill just again. I don't mind at all. I'm all right with that the way it is. And that's my, oops, if I can get it. There we go. That's my meatball sub. And what does it taste like? Well, let's have a look. See if I can pick it up for starters. Let me see. Going everywhere. Lovely. These were to die for. I recommend you make them. Anyway, for now, have a lovely week. Liz out.